Hello, my name is Jacob, and you're watching my show about literature, and only literature. Today we're going to be talking about a subject that is integral to the understanding of both the Indian cultural identity and one of the major aspects of Kim, religion. As Heitzman and Warden state, it is impossible to know India without understanding its religious beliefs and practices, which have a large impact on both the personal lives of Indians and influence public life on a daily basis. This statement is especially true when one considers the myriad of faiths that are practiced by the people of India. Besides the traditions of Islam and Hinduism, which hold the majority, there are small pockets of Christianity, Judaism, Zoroastrianism, Sikhism, and an untold number of tribal religions. These religions form the backbone of the spiritual body of India. They live harmoniously with one another, listening in wonder at the preachings of foreign scriptures while vigorously maintaining their own gospel. Kipling found this curious relationship to be fascinating and examined it at length in Kim. He must have found it amazing to see so many religions coexisting side by side with hardly any evidence of conflict. There is one particularly touching scene in chapter 4 where he notes that the people make prayer before one of the wayside shrines, sometimes Hindu, sometimes Muslim, which the low caste of both creeds share with beautiful impartiality. I can hardly imagine the same laissez-faire attitude being exhibited by members of today's religious parties. Say if a Muslim bowed towards Mecca in the sanctuary of a Christian church. However, the characters in Kipling's Kim seem to have a wonderful understanding of what constitutes an affront to their God. They are willing to compromise their spiritual values in order to secure an equilibrium of peace. In other words, they don't see a reason to rock the boat unless the boat really needs rocking. The train scene in chapter 2 is a perfect example of this. As the moneylender puts it, there is not one rule of right living which causes these terrains to not cause us to break. We sit, for example, side by side with all castes and peoples. This argument for exercising practicality over strict adherence is reflected many times over in the novel. In each instance, we see an individual bending the rules to suit the situation or for their own personal benefit. Even the Lama, who is quite possibly the most stringent and dutiful to his beliefs, is not immune to this pattern. One of the principal tenets of Buddhism is to maintain a sense of detachment to the world because, as the Lama exposits on many different occasions, to be bound by the wheel of things prevents the individual from attaining enlightenment. However, we see as the novel progresses that the Lama develops a very strong attachment to Kim, one which he struggles with to justify. In his mind, it's a catch-22 where if he continues to show affection towards his Chela, it will cost him enlightenment, but if he abandons his love and ceases to guide Kim, then Kim will also lose his chance at attaining enlightenment. The compromise that arises from this dilemma presents itself at the end of the novel, where both characters ultimately realize their goals without having to give up the things that they love. Perhaps the ultimate point that Kipling was trying to confer was that stringent adherence to a particular faith is meaningless if you have to sacrifice something that you love. Anyways, that's all I have to say for this video. Stay tuned for the next episode as we examine Buddhism's impact on the novel. And as always, please like and subscribe and feel free to comment below. Peace!